Furude Rika, the heroine of the Higurashi series, struggled against a terrible fate that always resulted in her death, and finally overcame it by trusting in her friends and working together with everyone in the village. The premise of Higurashi Gou is that, for some reason, Rika has been pulled back into the summer of 1983, forced to relive the horrible events over and over again, seemingly unable to break the cycle, despite knowing the details of the town and its mysteries, and even the mastermind of the original fate. Someone took Rika out of 1987, away from the freedom she earned with her blood, sweat, and tears, and threw her back into 1983, into one impossible situation after another. The question of who is responsible for this, who would dare to hurt this poor girl even more than she's already been, has plagued viewers for months. But starting with episode 16, we began getting answers. Episode 16 starts with Rika waking up with Sadako over her. Sadako explains that Rika has been cursed by Oyashiro-sama. She has cut open Rika's stomach to perform the Watanagashi ritual to quell Oyashiro-sama's wrath. The reason for this curse is that Rika wanted to leave Hinamizawa, and it's understandable that she would want to. Having lived through the summer of 1983 countless times, Rika has seen the town and spent time with her friends far more than anyone could do in a normal life. And Hinamizawa being the setting for such terror, seeing her friends murder each other and doom themselves, seeing the worst behavior from every person, and eventually being killed no matter what she did, no doubt made it hard to love the place. Still, in wanting to turn her back on the town, running away to St. Lucia Academy, a high school very far away from Hinamizawa, Rika also turned her back on her friends, her classmates, her neighbors, even Oyashiro-sama in the form of Hanyu, the deity that had helped her finally escape the endless loop of 1983. None of them had actually done anything wrong. In each loop, people succumbed to Hinamizawa syndrome and lost who they were. The only person actually worth despising was Takano Mio, the woman that planned to kill Rika and destroy Hinamizawa. But then, episode 17 gave us another twist. A reality where she didn't go through with her horrendous plans, and where she shows not only regret about what she was planning, but acceptance that it was selfish and unforgivable. Even she, the orchestrator behind the curse in 1983, could be a victim. Hinamizawa, outside of its curse, is a fantastic place, and Rika is only able to find a good reality, one where everything is fine and no one loses their mind or murders anyone else, after she accepts that the town is great and doesn't deserve to be hated. Rika doesn't need to escape from Hinamizawa. There's nothing to escape from. Rika was forced to go through hell a second time so she could learn that lesson, so she wouldn't want to leave Hinamizawa. This might have been an acceptable answer, that maybe some power wanted her to learn that, and once she did, everything was over. But the ending of episode 17 threw that out the window, by revealing that Sadako is herself a looper, and implying that she's been the one pulling the strings all along. She brought Rika back to 1983, she's made Rika suffer, she's the one trying to teach Rika to not hate Hinamizawa. The big question now is, why? Episodes 18 and 19 offer a lot of information. It shows us life after the gang stopped Takano, in the original ending to Higurashi. Life is good, friends are friends, and Rika is able to get the village to outwardly stop hating the Hojo family, so Sadako will, for sure, not face any more discrimination. It's great. Time passes, and the group starts to split up. Mion is off to high school, Keiichi and Reina are the leaders of the club, and they have to give attention to the new members that have joined. Rika and Sadako are there for each other, but they're pretty much separate from everyone else. Then Rika announces her plan. She wants to go to the prestigious St. Lucia Academy. It takes a lot of studying, but she's willing to do it, and she wants Sadako to do it with her. Sadako, who cannot say no to her best friend, agrees, and they study their asses off for more than 2 years. They get accepted, Irie foots the bill, the least that pervert could do, and they start their new lives. living in dorms, speaking politely, sipping tea, and debating softly. It's heaven for Rika, and hell for Sadako. Our little trap master studied like crazy to get into this fancy school, something she hated doing, only to find out when she got there that that level of studying would be constant in order to stay afloat. Her grades suffer, she is forced to attend a study hall every day after regular classes are over, and she is threatened with a special class if her grades continue to be bad, where she would be forced to study even more and have even less free time. Her days of bliss, of peaceful mischief and hanging out with her friends are over, with no return in sight. She is stuck at St. Lucia for the next 3 years, a never-ending slog of homework and pressure. Worse, her best friend, the entire reason she is at this school, isn't there for her. Rika has made a new group of friends, whose interests are far from Sadako's, and Rika seems happier with them. She isn't struggling at St. Lucia. She's actually excelling. This is exactly the kind of life she wanted, and she has embraced it with all her heart, even to the point of excluding Sadako. Is it any wonder that Sadako would try to get back to those halcyon days, where the pair cared for each other, supported one another, and were never apart? Is it any surprise that Sadako would want to punish Rika for abandoning her, tossing her to the side in pursuit of her dream? Sadako isn't only miserable at St. Lucia, the type of place she would never have gone to willingly, she's also seeing proof that Rika's vision of the future doesn't necessarily include her. Sadako may be there, nearby, but what Rika wants, Sadako apparently can't give. Sadako is looking at a betrayal. The belief that she and Rika are all the other needs was a lie. Rika doesn't need her. So Sadako wanted to create a world where she did. But she didn't do it alone. Episode 20 furthers the divide between Rika and Sadako. At the behest of Mion, the gang reunites in Hinamizawa to recreate their fun youth, and everyone loves it. But Sadako separates from the group at the end of the day, wanting to walk around town for the first time in over a year. She sees the familiar landscape, now unfamiliar. The site of her former home, which she shared with Rika, is now rubble, the house having collapsed in the winter. There is melancholy and loneliness as she sees the town she loves, but was forced to leave. She had to choose Hinamizawa or Rika, and she chose the person she loved. But now, will she ever see Hinamizawa again? Mion mentions that she is attending Gogura University, along with Reina and Keiichi, and is excited at the thought of Rika and Sadako joining them when they graduate St. Lucia. But Sadako doesn't seem sure. In her mind, she doesn't believe that Rika will want to go there. She'll instead want to go to a fancier school, to live the sophisticated life she's become accustomed to. And Sadako will again have to choose the rest of the gang or Rika. And she'll probably choose Rika and have to face more years of arduous study and a lack of freedom, because she loves Rika and cannot bear to be away from her. Confronted with an impossible situation, where no matter what she is unhappy, Sadako returns to the Furude Shrine House, and is beckoned inside by a mysterious sound. Inside, the statue of Oyashiro-sama breaks open, and what looks like a horn falls to the ground. Upon touching it, Sadako is teleported to the world of fragments, where Rika met Hanyu and kept traveling, in search of a future without her death. And there, Sadako meets her own deity, who no doubt called herself Oyashiro-sama, and gave Sadako the power to travel the repeat worlds, along with the mission to make Rika fall back in love with Hinamizawa and not want to leave. But are her motives pure, or is she just toying with Sadako and Rika, lapping up their pain? I won't say anything about who this mysterious woman might be, though fans of Umineko will recognize her, because we don't really know anything about her yet. But she is definitely the one behind everything in Go. That much is certain. Hi, this is Shaggy, thanking you for watching this video. Go only has a few episodes left, and I can't wait to see how things turn out. I feel really bad for Sadako, but I understand where Rika's coming from too. I hope there's a way they can both have happy futures, without one person compromising for the other. Anyways, please let me know if you enjoyed this video so I know to keep making this type of content. And remember, all powerful beings are inherently untrustworthy. That's how they got to be all powerful. Bye!